They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. Full-time ghosting is not an option. It's the only choice, you know. But yeah, I got a request from the homie, man. Shout out to the homie, man. On the Discord, got a request from the homie. And he asked me, well, how do you deal with people at work? You know what I'm saying? How do you deal with people at work, um, you know, as a full-time ghost, the full-time ghosting, and, how do you deal with people at work? Now, I touched up on this, I did a video on this way back. I don't remember the title. I don't remember the title. It might have been the simulation. It might have been a simulation of something, because I don't fully remember it. But the way I think you deal with people at work now, it's altered. It's changed. Because the manosphere, the manosphere is mainstream. The manosphere is mainstream. The red pill has been mainstream for over, I think, 4 years now. Over 4 years, the red pill has been full-blown mainstream. It's everywhere, It's everywhere. And the danger of the red pill is this false sense of comfort. This false sense of comfort that, well, the red pill is everywhere, so I could be a red piller everywhere, And we all know, as I've done a stream retiring the red pill. The red pill has died. The red pill is nothing more than a trap to begin with. It's the root of male destruction. That's what the red pill is. So, but the problem with the red pill being mainstream is that if you're manosphere aware, the problem is your comfort zone. That becomes very dangerous. It becomes very dangerous, your comfort zone and awareness of the manosphere. Because you'll be at work and you'll hear a coworker speaking manospherian. He's speaking manospherian quotes and tools, and you'll be like, oh, I know what he's talking about. Woohoo! Wow! I know what he's talking about. And you're going to try to talk to them, and you might go too deep in. You might go too deep in and set yourself up to be fired, lose your job, be reported, and so on. Because a lot of men are bragging about the manosphere offline. They're bragging about it. Well, I know I've watched this channel and that channel. You'll see a lot of people watch red pill content will say, well, I know about Andrew Tate. I know about Fresh and Fit. I know about Rollo Tomasi. I know about all these guys that will send you to failure. I know all about them. And you'll openly talk about it, and be attached to it. And what I've come to realize is that, when you're at work, you gotta maintain a level of distance where you can be seen. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like this, it's kind of like you're across the street, you're across the street. That's how you got to maintain it at work, where you're across the street, where somebody could talk to you like, yo, what's good? Somebody could wave at you. What's up, man? How you been? You see, you're across the street. You can't be too distant while you're at work, because then people will start adding things and suspecting there's something wrong with them. Remember, we got to also understand that postal, People going postal at the job has been mainstream. I think since the 90s, late 90s, postal became a thing where everybody knows, that employee at work that's too quiet, that sticks too much to himself, he's a problem. He's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He might go postal, So while at work, I don't think you can completely remove yourself. You gotta understand you're working this job. And one of the aspects of working this job is, what is that word? Camaraderie, and you're reachable and available or something, So when you're at work, people have to be able to talk to you to a certain extent. Now, you can set certain boundaries. I've been in that situation at a job where certain questions were brought up, where I'm like, nah, man, I ain't comfortable with that. I'm all right. Me, I'm more humorous, so I might jokingly say something that, to change it. But I would say the problem with the manosphere being mainstream is that a lot of women are also regurgitating this also. Because a lot of women have learned that with this manosphere stuff that, being sexual around a man, they now look at that as a red flag. You know what I'm saying? They look at it as a red flag. So a lot of women are just speaking and being kind to men, and I understand you. You know what I mean? That's the big hustle now that's going on with the women, is the I understand you man movement. And that gets a lot of men to drop their guard. Men will drop their guard when the women understand them. And one thing I've learned at work is that, man, when you're dealing with the bosses and all of them, you gotta understand, man, you're not here. You didn't volunteer to work with these people. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a choice you made because you wanted to, or this is your dream choice or your goal. They just so happen to be where you're making your money. And you got bigger goals. You plan to retire. You got aspirations beyond them, and your retirement and, how you'll live your life has nothing to do nor requires them to be a part of it. So when you go to work, you got to look at it like that, and you got to expect that with the way you're thinking. I've come to realize that, guys like us, full-time ghosting guys, whatever, you're gonna be, because you want to maintain a level of detachment, if you overexpose that hand, you're gonna be seen as like a virus, a virus, and just pretend you're the virus, and all the people around you within the system are the white blood cells. Once it's been seen that, oh man, he's a virus, the white blood cells will just attack you. And what I mean by that is, man, if you're asked this question, well, why aren't you in a relationship? And if you respond with, well, all women are this and that, and they're bad, and blah, 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 you've set yourself up. Because once you said all women are bad, guess what? All your female co-workers go into that. Instead of just answering with, I'm just not comfortable talking about, my relationship habits. Or, you could use the old, I think that's the safest one, to say I'm just not comfortable talking about that. That's something more private and personal for me. Because, a lot of guys will tell you, well, to use the old, I haven't found the right one. But here's the problem with that one. When you say that, you're now challenging your coworker to help you find the right one, or accept that challenge, and that coworker might say, well, I got a cousin that's single I want to introduce you to. You know what I'm saying? And if you blow off your coworker and say, nah, I'm okay, now you've offended your coworker, and that might land you in human resources. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of things now for men is to just say, it's private. It's a private matter. You know, my dating life, I'm just not into sharing that. It's a private matter. You know, I thank you for caring. You know, you got to maintain a level, like I said, across the street. You know, a person across the street is distant, but not where you can't talk to them or say hello. So you got to be within reach. You know what I'm saying? Cross the street. You know, they could cross to meet you, or they could yell from across the street and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got to be at work. Like me, when I go to work, man, I'm gonna do my job. You know, I'm not looking for no good job, love you. I don't fall for that scam that, you know, your job, your coworkers are your family. You know what I'm saying? That false narrative. Coworkers are family. Yeah, you'll reach to your coworkers, you'll talk to them. You might be some friends here and there, but the narrative that your coworkers are your family, you gotta remember, you didn't get hired into your family. Remember that. You know, you didn't get hired into your family. And the thing is, when it comes to co-workers, you don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what they're dealing with, and you should accept you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And when you accept you don't know what they're dealing with, you treat your co-workers kind of like a minefield. You know, you don't want to say too much that could trigger that mind, like stepping on it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to trigger it, you know? You know, like Boondocks said, man, one of the greatest quotes ever made was by Boondocks. It's a known unknown. You know what I'm saying? It's something I know that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I look at it, when you work, when you're going to work, you're just there to do your job. Now, if they're in the ways and they threaten your livelihood and the problems are so major that it's best for you to remove yourself from that situation, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to do that. Now, some people will say, well, you could go to human resources and so on. You could go to human resources when the problem is fighting something big. You know what I'm saying? Something big. But if it's somebody joking with you and such, you don't know. How do you know that person that was hired isn't related to the person that works human resources, a close friend or a friend of the company? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Your best bet at work, man, you do the job, make your money, get your resources, and prepare yourself for what lies beyond that job. You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do. And be prepared to, if need be, get another one. You know? Because the thing is, like I said, with co-working right now, you know, now that the red pill is mainstream. Because before it was mainstream, a lot of the female co-workers would just talk amongst each other, you know, dating and what they're going through. And, you know, they talk to the men on certain aspects of what they need done or certain things like that. But now the red pill is mainstream. You'll have female co-workers asking you about your body count. You know what I'm saying? Talking to you like they're one of the boys. You know what I mean? Or talking to you like, you know, they're not one of the boys, but they know what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? It's a setup. And the thing is, it ain't the women's fault. You know, it isn't the women's fault. The men set the tone, man. The men have always set the tone for society. And the tone right now with this whole red pill mainstream stuff is, the tone is the women need to know the red pill, be aware of it. Because guess what? The men are falling for the same tricks anymore. So the women adapt. You know what I'm saying? The quickest to adapt to a man is a woman. You know what I'm saying? Women adapt to men, you know, that aren't men. Women adapt at the snap of a finger. You know what I'm saying? So the women have been told, you gotta adapt, by the men. The women have been told, well, you know, we're not gonna fall for, you know, your breast showing and, you know, you being sexy and all that. That ain't gonna lower our guard. You want to lower our guard, you gotta talk to us. You gotta understand. Because remember, the men have been feminized. So the men being feminized, they're gonna look for conversational value with the women. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women have learned and adapted to that and are now just conversing and talking a man's language. You know what I'm saying? Women can be aware of the red pill, you know, and this has spread and it's created a false sense of comfort for the men, because I've been saying this in the manosphere for over 5 years. You know, the men are at the point where all it takes is a kind word. That's all it takes. All it takes is a kind word, a kind gesture, and a man is ready to give up his whole life for that one woman. All it takes. You know what I'm saying? A woman showing her breast and all that, men are, with the red pill awareness and all this manosphere stuff, are aware, well, if she's showing you her breasts, she's showing it to every other man. You know what I'm saying? She's showing off her body to every other man, so what makes you special? But now, if she's talking to you, being kind to you, you know, speaking about men issues and all that, she really cares, because she didn't have to do none of this. You could drop your guard. You know what I'm saying? She might be the one because she knows you. And this is going on co-working spaces where a lot more men are comfortable speaking this red pill stuff because it's mainstream. You'll be at your job and you'll hear body counts. You'll hear this and that, and you'll hear men talking about marriage and divorce. And, you know, in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, shit, man, you leave that shit alone, bro. Leave that online. You know, leave that on a forum. Don't bring that to the work. You know, because like I've been telling guys in the manosphere, if a woman's getting married, you congratulate her, you be happy for her, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even if a man's getting married, yeah, it'll trigger, you know, the danger within you. You'll be like, oh, you know, you might trigger, but you got to battle that. You got to be, no, good, man, congrats. You know, you're getting married, congratulations, man. You know, hope everything goes well for you. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to create a conflict between man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a very feminized society right now where the men are over emotional and everything. So you don't want to offend another man. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, is that snow? Yeah, you don't want to offend another man. And at your job, man, remember, you're here for the money. You're here for the payment. You're not here for the people. The people, if they're good, that's a bonus. That's it. If they're good, cool. They're an accessory. Your co-workers are an accessory, man. They're not a necessity. You know, their validation, their embracement, that's not a necessity. That's an accessory. You know what I'm saying? Once your mind is tapped into that, yeah, my co-workers, people I work with are an accessory. They're not necessary. You know what I mean? For me to do my job. And then people I work with, if they try to screw me and all this and that, you know, that should be expected, man. They're playing by the rules of this society. It should be expected, you know? So to me, the way I look at working, and especially now, I keep telling a lot of guys, man, we're in the age of the cell phone, you know, the smartphone, whatever. Everyone has a phone, man. And a lot of people have been trained, well, they didn't pull out their phone, so they didn't pull out their phone, they don't got a problem with me. Dude, you could record, you could set record on your phone by just touching it in your pocket, you know. You could record what's going on, what's being conversed, what's being said, and then report that anonymously to what they call that again, what they call that, human resources, whatever. You know what I mean? So to me, man, like I've been saying when I made the live stream, you know, the red pill is dead. R.I.P. the red pill. You got to understand, the red pill is nothing more than a guidance system. It's about guiding men in towards idealism, an idealism that is fueled by the government to begin with. You know what I'm saying? The narrative of marriage. Think about the narrative of marriage. Marriages didn't get popular and become a big thing for the normal man until what was it, 1940s or something? 1930s? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's when it became something big. Before then, it was just, yo, people are together. That man is with that woman, or that man is in a monogamous relationship, polygamous relationship, whatever. Marriage wasn't a big deal. And like I said on my live stream about the nuclear family, the whole nuclear family that these red pillars are talking about, they're literally promoting 1940s, 50s government propaganda. You know what I'm saying? The nuclear families, government propaganda. You know what I mean? So to me, you gotta understand, man, you can't find comfort in this crap going mainstream. You gotta be aware that this manosphere language going mainstream is a trap. You know what I'm saying? It's a trap. The laws haven't changed. The laws haven't changed, man. So it's a trap. You gotta be aware of that. And to me, with co-workers, man, your work, get your money, man. Support where you have to. It's some co-worker's birthday. You know, get a gift card. You know, get cake from like you don't make it or nothing. You don't want to set yourself up for potential accusation of food poisoning. You know what I mean? You buy it from a restaurant or something. You get it delivered. You participate in a job, you know, where you have to. Social events here and there. You don't want to be accused of. He might go postal. He's too quiet, you know. You know what I'm saying? He's too distant from others. There's something wrong with this person. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that accusation. There's something wrong with you. So to me, the best bet, man, at the job, you participate where you have to, you know, and make sure you do not over reveal your life in your hand, you know, what you're doing and so on. And move accordingly. I tell people, man, once you've become a full-time ghost, you understand that the way this country works, it's about money. You know, God bless America and all that. You know, America, you gotta make your money here. You know, that's what's guaranteed, the money. You know what I'm saying? The money is guaranteed. You can make some money. Now, everything else has been taken off the table. You know, friendships, family, you know what I'm saying? Relationships, you know, all those are taken off the table. You know, America's become fine-tuned towards profit. Everything else off of that treadmill of making money is all a trap. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men in the manosphere think, oh man, you know, we're all brothers, and no, we're not. No, we're not. You know what I'm saying? And if your guard, because when a man is feminized, your guard, you're being trained to not keep your guard up, especially around other men. You know what I'm saying? And what you got to understand is that, man, you know, in a society where the men are being feminized, the majority of the men, like I said, I made that video, the pink pill. I made that video, the dog pill. These are the future men. You know, the mass majority of men you will interact with are either pink pillars, dog pillars, and of course, the purple pill here and there. But the mass majority are over feminized and over loyal, too loyal to the current direction of what's being pumped out by the mainstream media and everything. These men have been corrupted, man. You can't trust them. You know what I mean? I've been in that situation where I was talking to a dude and I'm like, he sounds like he's normal. And then he revealed himself, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he's one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's a pink-pilled man right there. Or that's a dog pillar. I gotta be aware. You know what I'm saying? Keep control, keep my guard up. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too close to that person. You know, so you gotta understand, man. On the treadmill of the West, a lot of men think, "Oh, Hold the Truth, your videos, you're talking about women, right? You're talking about we need to maintain our distance and be aware of the law on women, right? Women." No, man. You gotta be aware that the only person you could be attached to is yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yourself. That's it. The only person you can trust in this society now is yourself. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a degree of acceptance on how others will behave around you. You can have that. But the narrative that you can fully trust anyone, that died years ago. You know what I'm saying? I think the last time you could fully trust someone, probably the 90s, maybe the 90s. You know, not just because of technological reasons, but you know, the pressure wasn't being pushed as much. So I think maybe the 90s or even further. You know what I'm saying? I'm not further back. I'm not 100% sure, but you got to understand, man, you're in a society now, as you can see with all the YouTube commercials, come make 6 figures, 8 figures. Money, 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 money. Dude, that's all you can make here, man. You know what I'm saying? Your friends, you think your male friends won't stab you in the back just to get some of this societal validation? You know what I'm saying? You think that's not on the table? Just to get some societal validation, another man won't just put the sharpest blade they could in your back. You know what I mean? This is what's available in today's society, man. Today's society, the rules are simple. If you're a man, make your money. That's it. You make your money. You know, the friends you have always have a degree of separation, and always watch what you're saying, you know, because it's a scarcity. You'll meet someone that's like-minded. It's a scarcity. And the thing is, are you willing to risk it? Are you willing to risk where you're being honest and it doesn't fit the mold of today's society? You know, it doesn't fit the mold. You know, the compromises you should make. You got to remember, you're in a very anti-straight male society. The straight male has been deemed toxic, poisonous, a toxin, you know, openly by Fortune 400 companies, trillion-dollar companies now are saying, yeah, these men are toxic masculinity and poison. You know what I'm saying? And then you're in a society where, you know, Twitter, not Twitter, I mean TikTok, Instagram have proven that validation is the highest value of currency. The number one currency people want is validation. Validation and attention are the number one currency right now. It ain't Bitcoin. It is not Bitcoin. It's not the stock market. It's none of those. It is validation and attention. Number one currency. Most invested, most traded currency in our society right now is validation and attention. You know what I'm saying? Look up some trends and videos on TikTok and Instagram. You know, especially TikTok. You'll look at TikTok, because one thing I give TikTok is because it's Chinese owned, they don't have as much restrictions on the Americans, because they're like, yo, that's the Americans. You know what I'm saying? If they want to look stupid, It's, they want to look stupid. That ain't our country. That's not China. They want to do these things. Let them do these things. So you're in a situation where TikTok is slightly far less censored than Instagram and so on. YouTube, So that's what's going on, man. You got to understand this. The society you're in, the nation you're in, the location you're in, it's all you can have is money. That's it. All you can gather is resources. All you can trust is yourself. That's it. Everything outside of yourself, that's a gamble. And some gambles, will have less of a hurdle. I'm not saying you won't have friends and this and that. We all got our friends here and there, associates here and there. But you just got to be aware that at the end of the day, the friends and all this stuff, co-workers and all this stuff, it's not on the treadmill of success. It's not on the treadmill of success of the nation you're in, the West, America, Canada, London, whatever, UK, any Americanized legal system. It's not in your best interest to have friends, where you're gonna be 100% open with. It doesn't work out well when the validation and attention is the number one currency. The number one thing people are pursuing. But like I said, at your job, man, you just focus on what you're doing and be aware. Remember, you can't be too distant. You got to be across the street, not across the block. You can't be that far from your coworkers. I've been in that situation where I'm working with some people and, it's somebody's birthday or something like that, and you got to get them something. Just get them a little gift card or something. Participate. Remember, you participate so people don't question and look at you and say something wrong with you. You know what I mean? You're too distant. But, I hope this request worked. Remember, you can request a video on the Discord, Philosophy Discord. And this has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. Full-time ghosting isn't an option. It's the only choice. Peace.
They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.